All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we're going through Proverbs 4:20 through 23. Let's get it. My son, be attentive to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Let them not escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart. For they are life to those who find them and healing to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. So this is classic Proverbs talking about the importance of these words and these sayings, keeping them on your heart because they give life and they give healing. What I really want to focus on here is verse 23, when it goes, keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. I want to focus on two things here. One, keeping your heart with vigilance. This is important because I think of submitting our thoughts to Christ and thinking about all the inputs in our life. I talked about this on an earlier podcast, probably 2 episodes ago, I think, of just really focusing and curating your environment. What are you allowing to enter your world, and how is that affecting your heart? So really keep your heart with all vigilance. The people you talk to, the things you listen to, the things you think, the beliefs you harbor, the feelings you interpret and allow yourself to feel, the actions you do, the results you get, and the other stimuli in your environment. Curate all of that so that you are vigilantly keeping your heart. And then it goes on, for from it flow the springs of life. And I just want to speak about the importance of our heart, and this will jump us right into the entrepreneurial application of things, but we all lead with our heart. We all act based off of emotion. We like to think of ourselves as rational beings, but we are not. Every decision has an emotion behind it. That's why when salespeople can elicit that emotion, you can create that rapport, you can then work that emotion to get the sale. It's similar in all of life. Anytime you're influencing people, we're all acting based on emotion. Because without emotion, it would be a very strange human experience, to say the least. And yeah, I think even when we think we are acting rationally and we are acting despite emotion, you've either really honed a skill of realizing your emotion and entertaining other options, or you are lying to yourself. One of the two is happening. And I think very few people hone that skill. And then even when you hone it, you're not perfect at it. And there are still times when you act off of emotion, or your decision making is influenced by emotion. So I think when I'm looking at these verses, from this flows the spring of life. All of our life is based on the heart that we're keeping with all vigilance, and that emotion that we harbor. Tony Robbins talks about your emotional home and what we go back to emotionally. I think creating that, he's like, focus on that and you'll create the world around you. I think it's very similar because emotion is very powerful and a lot of us lead with it. Just being straight up. And even when we don't lead with it, it's always influencing us, if that makes sense. So where has this shown up in my life? Oh, first, the entrepreneurial application of it. Basically, it's lead with your heart. In business, there are going to be times when you have some intuition, when you think you need to make a decision, or you think you need to make a leap. Take that leap, lead with your heart, step out on faith, and curate your entrepreneurial environment. Get around people who are of high quality and who really care about, being around you and helping you grow. That is part of keeping your heart with vigilance. And when you do that, the springs of life will flow. The life into your business, the life into your relationships, the life into your health, all that good stuff. That's the entrepreneurial application of it. Lead with your heart. If you don't like what you're doing and you do it for more than 2 or 3 days, just stop what you're doing and make a change. I think Steve Jobs talked about that. He's like, if you can look in the mirror and you hate your days waking up, something needs to change. That shouldn't happen for more than 2 to 3 days. Life is too short, right? So where has this shown up in my life? I would say my tolerance has significantly decreased for low quality people in my life unless I'm in a position to add value to them. And even then, my patience is still low. So keeping my heart with all vigilance on the entrepreneurial journey, my mindset, where I'm taking my business, where I take my ideas, I am sharing my ideas in a more rare fashion. Like, I'm just very selective about who I share with or how long I'll be in a conversation with somebody, just because people can really drain the energy out of a situation when they are a low quality person and they try to impose their limiting beliefs on you to make them feel more secure. And so I've become more impatient with And I know I've said I've been wanting to develop patience, but this is a place where it's a different type of patience. I don't want to allow them to influence me for too long because I realize that my heart is vulnerable. I am impacted by the people around me. And so until I'm in a position to stand strong and really help them out of their situation, I don't really need to be around them that much. So that's where the impatience comes from. And I say this because I've had too many bad partnerships and poor decisions that were made out of fear and insecurity. And because of that, I'm much more selective about who I surround myself with and what information I entertain. Because you have so many people ditch out on you, have so many deals go bad, have so many just things go wrong because you're going after low quality opportunities with low quality people who are all scared, who are all insecure. And we are all scared and insecure to an extent, but again, some people have honed that skill of acting despite their emotion or reinterpreting their emotion. Instead of anxiety, it's excitement, right? And so I really want to surround myself with people who are more expansive, more abundant, and aren't so focused on fear, but are trying to lead a life of love, because both are emotions. Can be emotions. I think love is more a state of being. It's not even just action, it's more a state of being. Like love is patient, love is kind. It's not love does patient things. So love is patient. So I think it's a state of being. But what I'm saying is, from that state of being, flow the springs of life, right? And so it's just really cool to think about getting around people like that, getting in springs that are flowing with life. And then I too can become that and flow into other people's life. And ultimately that comes from being connected to Christ. Let's be real. We're reading this straight out the Bible. This is God's word. It's max. So here we go. Where do I want this to show up in my life? So I've kind of told you where it's shown up. My patience has decreased. I had some bad partnerships, had some deals go south for just unnecessary reasons. Like you just look at the situation, it's like, this wouldn't happen to a Grant Cardone because Grant Cardone doesn't operate like this, and I did in this moment, which is primarily out of fear and insecurity. Where do I want to show up in my life? Quality relationships and community. And then I want to help people become quality people by providing the support, resources, and belief that they need to make the choice and take that leap. And so what do I mean by this? In 1 Corinthians 13, it says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And this is why I don't like giving up on people. Because love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. So first, I'm going to believe in them. I'm going to hope the best for them. But then I'm going to bear their burdens with them and endure the long suffering it takes to see them become the person that God made them to be. And I really, really care about doing that, like in a very intense manner for all human beings, which is why I think so big about life and why I want to raise the standard of living across the world to middle-class America, to provide food, shelter, water, and safety for people so that we can continue to expand and continue to grow and continue to just become amazing people who are doing amazing things for each other, with each other, right? And so I really want to live out 1 Corinthians 13 by helping people become quality people. So I want to surround myself with quality relationships and community, and I want to help people become quality people. Now, how do you do this? First, they're going to have to make a personal choice. That personal choice is going to be made by helping them connect with their willingness to improve and live a great life. I believe, again, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. I believe and hope that people all want to be like God. A, we're created for that. B, you can see people around the world, all they want is to love and to be loved. Like anytime you kind of say, why are you doing something, or how do you live a good life? It's to live a life where you are loving people and you are being loved by people. Because you can have all the money in the world, all the resources in the world, it means nothing if there aren't people. We are inherently people who long for community. So there we go with the people want to love and be loved. All I gotta do is help them tap into that desire. And then once they tapped into that desire and they have a willingness to improve their life and improve their character and improve themselves, that is when we help them build the character traits and belief that they need in a community. So this is how this looks. A, connect them to their desire. I want to host an event in Austin, but pretty much around the world, And in every city, in every pocket, like I want the event to be able to reach all people. So it's going to be like a monthly event in every major city where people can kind of flock to that event, right? And in that event, people will talk about their dreams and goals, their aspirations for life, and why they have those dreams and goals and the lives that they want for their loved ones. That will connect them to their desire. And they'll also talk about why they're not there and why they can't get there and all that good stuff. So they'll basically think about their pain and think about the beauty of the life that they could have all in one setting to connect them to that desire. And they'll do that as many times as possible, because once they're connected to that desire, we'll hook them up in small groups of 3 to 6, and they'll go through a very intense 6-week session. That 6-week session will be living life with people, taking in information, and growing as a person. So it'll look like you're working out consistently, you're being fully transparent with those around you, transparent and vulnerable, and you're eating with these people, you're eating healthier, and you're reading books and listening to podcasts, or just taking in information that is about improving your life and becoming better. And then you're having conversations with the people that you're around. And you're doing this all on like hyperdrive. I'm talking like 4 to 5 workouts a week in that group of 3 to 6, 4 to 5 meals a week in that group of 3 to 6, reading a book a week in that group of 3 to 6, and talking about it with each other. It's a 6-week intensive personal development grind, because the goal is to come out of that 6 weeks having gained consistency, gained discipline, and kind of proven to yourself that, oh, you can do this thing. You just did 6 weeks of hard workouts, eating healthier food around awesome people. And you've learned all these cool things from these books that I'll recommend, these podcasts that I'll recommend. Because you want to trust those people such that you can go into business with them. So now we've shattered some limiting beliefs and built some character traits, the foundation for some character traits. You will continue to develop those character traits with these people, but you will also start to buy businesses and buy real estate with these people, and develop the skills you need to operate that real estate and run those businesses. By doing this, we connected people to their willingness, then we gave them a platform to become better. We help them become better. It's like, you got to take in more information, you got to care for your health, and you got to get around better people. Once you do those things, you got to get your financial situation right. Buying businesses, buying real estate, developing skills that can support those 2 activities. The last thing is you connected to your desire to become a great person. You then set the foundation for becoming a great person and kept up with those habits in that same group of 3 to 6. But you are also now buying businesses and buying real estate with that group of 3 to 6. Now, you guys have built character traits, you're healthier, you're financially well off because you bought these businesses, bought this real estate, and you're turning around and you're impacting people, helping them to do the same thing. And we talked earlier about, to he who has, more will be given. These people entered into creation mode. They're creating a better life for themselves by committing to these actions and buying businesses, buying real estate. Now they're going to impact people. And so greatness will beget more greatness, because great people, we took people who didn't care about their life, were kind of going through the motions, hit them into hyper gear by connecting them to their willingness to improve, their desire to improve, which is innate in us all. Help them improve. Now they're going to turn around and do the same thing for other people, because they love people and they care about people, because that is where we get the most fulfillment. So that's kind of my idea for how we're going to create great people. But first, I want to surround myself with great people and great community, and then help people become great, because I know what it looks like. Now, how can you apply this to your life? I would say, ask yourself who you want to be. Figure out where those people are, and then get around them. Real simple stuff. You don't want to stick around people who are bringing you down, right? Like, again, we're talking 20 through 23, and 23 talks about your heart with all vigilance being kept, because from it flow the springs of life. And so right now, your springs of life may be cut off because you're not keeping your heart vigilantly. Start keeping your heart vigilantly, and then the springs of life will start flowing from you, and then life will beget more life. And so, yeah, that's how you can apply it to your life. Ask yourself who you want to be. Figure out where those people are. So if I want to be rich, where are the rich people? If I want to be healthy, where are the healthy people? If I want to be a person who has a great marriage, where are people who have great marriages? Just go hang out with them. And when you go hang out with them, their springs of life will start to flow into you, and maybe break through the thing that is holding you back because you are now keeping your heart vigilantly as they are. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. We will see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.